Hey guys, Malunoo here from Curse EU. Gonna do a quick guide on Amumu. First off, the runes I use, I go for really a lot of armor, just to become really tanky. The reds are not that good for Amumu. Magic Pen doesn't really do anything in the jungle, and for ganks you already have enough damage, so you don't really need it. I'd rather just get really tanky. Flat MR over scaling. I just want the early game power to try to swing the game in my favor as much as possible. And then I run Spellvamp Quints for some extra sustain, because early game he can get a bit low if you don't have it, depending on what you're trying to do. Gonna hop in the game.
I thought you'd never.
So masteries, I do 0, 18, 12. That gives me a lot of tanky stuff. This makes me take less damage from everything in jungle, some more AoE for faster clears, health regen always good. More tankiness, armor and MR, this is tankiness against champions. This is just to make it harder for the enemy team to shut you down. You want to run around and keep spamming Tantrum and have Cry up. So this is going to make you deal more damage. Just tanky stuff. Mana regen is always good, especially if they manage to steal your blue buff or something. You can still get by kind of okay if you have some mana regen for masteries. Shorter city summoner spell. Flash is really good for initiating with Amumu, so you want to have it whenever you can. Longer buff duration is always good. And then you get some spell vamp from this mastery, so just for more sustain in the jungle. And yeah, that's about it. Smite, pretty standard on every champion, pretty much in the jungle. You want to have it just to secure your buffs. You need it early game to do the first few clears, and then it's really good for Dragon and buff control and Baron. Flash is just like the best summoner spell. You want to have it. You can get in position to hit more people with your ultimate, or flash bandage cells, flash out of bad situations to stay alive. You can do anything with that spell. It's really good. And then for skill order, I usually start with E on Amumu for level 1. Makes you take a bit less damage, and since stuff is hitting you all the time in the jungle, the cooldown goes down really low, and it keeps resetting, so you get the most damage out of it. You just keep spamming it. Then you want to get, unless you want to do a crazy level 2 gank, which is I don't really recommend. It's kind of risky. If it works, you'll be fine. If it doesn't work, you're going to be really far behind, and it's going to be pretty horrible. And then, so normally you would start E, then get 1 point W, 1 point Q. Just to have if you need to gank or something. Then you want to max E first and then Q second for way shorter CD and a lot higher single target burst. And then you max W last. W is really good, but you need to stay close to people for a while to make it effective, and that's hard to do until late game. So yeah, bandage just gives you more mobility too, because you can if you're fighting here and need to get away, you can toss over to the wolves and escape and stuff like that. For items, I start with machete and 5 pots on almost every jungler now. You want to start a standard route, like do wolves blue, wraiths and red, then golems, and you should have about enough. You buy spirit stone. And you'll have enough sustain to do fine in the jungle, and also 20% more damage is always good. Clear stuff faster. Items after that, I usually get mercs pretty fast, possibly Ninja Tab if they have a really low amount of CC, but mercs are good. For enchantments, distortion is really good on Amumu. You want to have your flash up as much as possible for team fights. Makes it much easier to land a good ultimate. Other than that, you pretty much just want to build tanky stuff. You eventually get the Spirit of Spectral Wraith for spell. It gives you much faster jungle clear, better sustain, and some more damage with the 40 AP. I personally like Sunfire Cape. Amumu is a really you can build him in a lot of different ways. Some people favor more AP items. I usually go really tanky with Sunfire and Spirit of the Spectral Blade. That's my 2 damage items. You get these, then you can go, or you can get an Aegis to help your team out. You can pretty much go anything as long as you're tanky enough to stay alive. And if you have a Sunfire, you'll deal a lot of damage with that and your W. Just try to get a good mix between health, MR, and armor. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Amumu. Thanks for watching.